You might think that since this video isn't particularly long, a clash between Luxembourg and the Roman Empire would also be over pretty quickly. But you'd be wrong. Because the real question is, could this tiny, almost adorable dot on the map, armed with modern technology, actually defeat the most powerful empire in European history? Let's say Luxembourg is suddenly sent back in time to the 1st century BC. Julius Caesar is just finishing his conquest of Gaul. There's only one small village left. Except it's not exactly small. It has nearly 700,000 inhabitants. Rumors spread quickly. The city appeared out of nowhere, and it wields some kind of magic. Caesar sees an opportunity, not just to boost his prestige, but to grab this magic and start steamrolling his enemies with it. So, what happens if Caesar decides to conquer Luxembourg? Well, if anyone in Luxembourg has at least half a brain cell, Caesar probably gets taken out by a sniper from over a kilometer away and his army breaks into a full retreat. But what if it doesn't end there? What if it comes down to a full-scale battle? Luxembourg doesn't have many fighter jets. Actually, it has none. Yeah, that's sad, but that's fine, because it also doesn't have any tanks. And yet, in reality, even a single armored vehicle with a machine gun would likely send half a Roman legion running. Sure, Luxembourg only has around 1,200 soldiers, while the Romans have a whole lot of shields and some really cool-looking armor, which, unfortunately for them, are too thin and don't do much against bullets. And a tight testudo formation would make a lovely target for grenades and grenade launchers. But what if Caesar survives? What if, after seeing his legions crushed, he changes tactics and starts a long war of attrition? Luxembourg might be able to outlast Julius Caesar himself. After all, without success in Gaul, the Roman Senate would probably have his head anyway. But a prolonged conflict with the Roman Empire? That wouldn't end well for them. Luxembourg imports almost everything. If the rest of the modern world suddenly vanished, its level of development would quickly collapse toward that of the surrounding Gallic tribes. Nearly 90% of its electricity is imported. Back in time, the internet disappears, the power grid fails, and the country is plunged into darkness and chaos. Food runs out. Luxembourg is forced to obtain supplies from nearby tribes through trade or conquest. Within months, fuel is gone. Ammunition starts running low. Sanitation fails. Agriculture breaks down. Transport collapses. Healthcare disappears. In a long-term conflict with the Roman Empire, Luxembourg simply cannot win. Not without bullets, fuel, not while starving, and running out of medicine and electricity. So, what future awaits the Grand Duchy? The pessimistic scenario is clear. Demographic collapse, famine, and the slow erosion of the state. Luxembourg could be conquered, looted, and eventually absorbed into the empire as just another province. But that's not the only possibility. To the Romans and the Gauls, Luxembourg, with its glass towers glowing with light, might look less like a city and more like the home of gods. There's a real chance that the shock of facing thunder-wielding sticks would be so overwhelming that even the Romans would hesitate to attack it again for generations. It could become a sacred place, or even gain massive political influence within Rome itself, offering advanced knowledge in engineering, metallurgy, and medicine, wrapped in an aura of divine perfection. Romans might start treating Luxembourgers as living oracles or miracle workers. A single doctor from Luxembourg carrying a bag of antibiotics could save more lives than Roman medicine would in a century. Over time, emperors might end up surrounded by so many Luxembourgish advisors and doctors that they start speaking Luxembourgish better than Latin. However, there's one more scenario, and it may be the most likely of all. If Luxembourg fails to secure food and raw materials in time, and cannot function independently, it could become Rome's most valuable client state. In exchange for grain and slaves, it could offer something priceless: advanced steel, precise maps, knowledge of mineral deposits, as well as engineers and doctors. Either way, the sudden appearance of Luxembourg in antiquity would trigger a massive technological leap for the entire world. So, what do you think about these scenarios? Let me know in the comments which one you think would be most likely. And if you enjoyed this, don't forget to leave a like.